what the truth is, but ultimately it was not a casual thing. It was organized, and one of the intelligent operations somewhere in the world was behind it, maybe more than one. But it's ultimately for land control, military control, and money.
No, you're absolutely right. Hey, John King, you've been dreadfully silent. In your whole preparation effort, what would you say was the one hardest thing you had to do when it comes to preparation? What would you say is the biggest? Let me just ask you this. What was the one biggest thing you overlooked so far, based on everything that you've discovered that, oh, crap, I overlooked that?
Power. How to give myself electricity. That was the one thing, surprisingly, that I did overlook, and I remedied it as quickly as I possibly could. First, I put up a lot of food, and then I put up medical supplies, and then I figured, well, if I have to, I can cook over an open fire. The caveman did it. John King can do it. But I also am going to need a way to light. I collected and put up kerosene and hundreds of candles. My goodness, my wife got hundreds and hundreds of candles. And then I decided that I'm going to modernize my ship a little more and get a way to power it. And that's when I decided to build the solar cells, put up the wind turbine, and the battery chargers and the battery bank and the whole 9 yards. If power goes out right now, even though I'm facing a giant storm that's supposed to be here by Wednesday, if the power went out during that storm, I could actually run my pellet burner on battery backup for 48 hours and get us through the worst part of the storm.
That's fantastic, And all these preparations, folks, can be used for disaster preparedness as well. So, I mean, it's just not, you're not just doing it for the end of civilization as we know it. You're also doing it, in case there's a catastrophic storm like John was talking about or anything like that. It's preparation is something that we should all invest in. It's a sound investment, and it's something that's sorely lacking today in society. Something that once was considered commonplace is now not common at all. And it's like I said before, what was sane before is now insane, and what was insane is now sane. And that's the point that we need to get to as a movement, as conscientious, well-aware people. And it's all going to come down to just how prepared you really are and how much faith you have in your Creator, no matter who the heck it is, no matter how you feel, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the rock outside in your garden, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Speaking about faith and the Bible is a big part of a lot of folks' faith out there. We have Lee from Kentucky who decided to call up and air his vision as how Israel is connected to Egypt, and he sees it as a biblical thing. Lee, welcome to Freedomlink Radio. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I just wanted to share this quick comment. I'd like to get your all's opinion on it as well. What I see developing is the Gog-Magog war that the Bible speaks of. I'm not talking about the Battle of Armageddon, but the first one that creates a 7-year peace treaty. And, of course, if you're going to create a peace treaty, you must first have some kind of chaos. And so what I think we're looking at is the start of a Gog-Magog war when all the countries around Israel will try to move against them. We was talking about, America wouldn't let it happen. Under normal circumstances, I would agree, but because we, like AC said, because we're on the verge of bankruptcy, or we are bankrupt, God makes it very clear that no one's there to help Israel and that he intervenes and spares Israel so that all nations will know that he, in fact, is God. So he's going to prove to the world that he alone spared Israel. And I think we're on the verge of seeing the start of this. And I'll hang up, and I just want to listen to your guys' comments on that on the closing moments, and just say God bless you to all of you.
Thank you, Lee. God bless you too, buddy. Now, I have a little bit of a different take on it, and it's because ultimately it's these neocons that are advancing this agenda, and so they have a socialist puppet head up there I really think it's in the neocons' best interest, or what they perceive as their best interest, to back up their buddy, the Israelis. Now, that's not to say, and secondly, when they talk about biblical Israel, I don't think they're talking about Israel, the nation state. As a matter of fact, based on all my research, I just don't come up with that. But, hey, it remains to be seen. I can't put out a date, I can't put out times, and I won't do that because I can't lead people astray when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I can tell you this, that if you haven't started preparing yourself and your family, we's in big trouble. So that's my thoughts on that. Bob, what do you think? Thank you, Bob. How about you, Griff?
Well, I think all of this other stuff is good for entertainment. It's good for discussion, but I don't have to know who did what, why. I know we're right up against it. Just forget everything except being bankrupt. The country's bankrupt. We're running on fumes right now, borrowed time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep on like that. There's a day of truth, and it has to be very close. And there are other things going on. Don't forget the scalar activity, the earthquakes, and all of that. Make no mistake about it. It is man-made. It's not the mothership. It's not aliens. It's all man-made, and it's military. You got so many things coming at you, and who cares why? Only concentrate on preparing for survival for yourself and your family. And that's a monstrous job. You may not be able to complete that in the time that we have left. So that's what should be the focus right now.
But a very sound investment, wouldn't you say?
Oh yes. Well, you can say that goods will never be as cheap as they are today. They're going to go up in price, and you're saving money. No other reason. I had an interesting talk the other day with one of the major pet food manufacturers in the country, and they explained to me over the phone why they charge $35 a bag for dry animal food. They said that the raw products are up for bid, and they have to bid on them, and there's competition from all over the world bidding on the material that goes into animal food. So they have to keep raising bids higher and higher and higher.
Right, sure.
They say you think we're making a lot of money, but we're not. We're just keeping the plant open and keeping contracts for raw materials, and it's going to get worse, they said. They said to me, we will be here as long as we can get the raw material.
How do you like that?
They will close down, and that's what they said.
John,
puts it in a different perspective.
Yeah, it does. John, your thoughts on Lee's question?
I've been waiting with my comment for so long, I forgot what I was going to say.
Racka-fracka.
Racka-fracka.
Oh, I have a comment for John. John, have you thought about getting your wife to ride a modified bicycle in the house, put it up on jacks, put an alternator on the back wheel, and get her to pedal? And that can charge your battery.
Don't go there. Don't, Griff.
If it probably will not surprise you, but it's not put together, but it is out on the back patio, and all I have to do is actually remount the alternator to the wheel and put the belt on, and I'm good to go. I've already.
Now, has she agreed to pedal?
Griff,
no, there. I'm going to be the one doing that.
Oh, she told you you're going to do it?
Yeah, he actually did that, Griff.
But what about the wife? The wife's supposed to support the husband.
That's the wild card. That's the iffy there. I don't know. I don't know.
She's going to support me by not complaining about how primitive things are, and I'm going to support her by not dropping her off at the nearest FEMA camp pickup depot.
I see.
Jeez. Oh, boy, guys, I'll tell you, 2 hours of talking about this stuff can really make you a little bit loopy. And, well, we got about 5 minutes left, and, when it all comes down to it, Griff, we always say it time and time again, it's self and family. No matter what happens, if the country's bankrupt, if we go to war, if riots break out, if it goes along that nothing happens, and all of a sudden everything clears up, the skies are blue again, and life as we know it continues on, let me tell you, it's still self and family. At the end of the day, it is. So, self and family, folks, stay prepared, stay vigilant. Again, if anybody has any questions, if they have any comments, if they find out anything that they think is pertinent and we should talk about on the show, you can email us at the Freedomlink at CenturyLink.net. That's the Freedomlink at CenturyLink.net. And you can also visit our website. It is www.thefreedomlinkradio.com. And in about a month's time or so, hopefully about a month's time, I know we've been talking about it for seems like ever now, we will be migrating off of the Blog Talk Radio and onto our own network. That would be the Intel Hub News Network. That's coming down the pipe, too. We're in the final stages of putting that together. And when that happens, oh, boy, world, watch out, because we're going big time, baby. But with
Joe,
go ahead, big guy.
Water purification, I just saw that in the chat room. If you take one of those Brita water filters, and you know where I'm going with this, Joe, I've done the video, it will fit very nicely down inside an inch and either an inch and a half or an inch and 3/4. I believe it's an inch and a half PVC pipe, and you can get a collar to go around that, which will up to a 3-inch. Cut your 3-inch PVC pipe off at about 24 inches. Fit them all together and include that Brita filter down inside the bottom collar, and silicone that in, and you'll be able to make yourself a very cheap and efficient Brita water filter.
Fantastic. Well, Griff, John, another fantastic show. Wish the subject matter would be something a little more lighthearted and more fun, but 'tis the world we live in. Folks, tune in again on Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, where the show will go on, and we'll keep on broadcasting as long as we can. Until then, this is Joe Joseph. This is Freedom Link Radio. Have a pleasant evening, everybody. Good night.